And now, it's time to take a deep dive into Oceanside's deep, rich past. It's Deep Roots, Deep Dive. Those of us who grew up around here will remember, if you're old enough, the local TV stations of the 60s and 70s. And back then, if you'll remember, we only had two stations. There was Channel 8 and Channel 10. Channel 8 was KFMB and Channel 10 was then KOGO. Channel 39.7 didn't come about, I think, until having its own news department until the late 70s. But anyway, we will remember some of the figures from the 60s and 70s who were on local TV, and that included the late Bob Dale, who was the host of the Zoo-Rama TV show, where he basically had an original show where he went and hung out with the animals at the zoo. He was also a host of an afternoon movie show where he sort of sat in these barber chairs and talked about the movie that was being shown. Then there was Johnny Downs, the children's TV show host who was on Channel 10. The thing I remember most about him, he would dance on milk bottle tops. That's right. I think he was advertising Golden Arrow Dairy. And then we had Moona Lisa. Now, she was sort of our own Elvira, and she hosted on Channel 10 the Saturday afternoon science fiction and monster movie show that was on Channel 10 from 63 to 72, when she went up to Los Angeles TV and was there for about a year. And then I think she eventually went to St. Louis, and I think she retired from there. Anyway, the lore has it that she had snakes on her show. And according to the lore, one of her shows, she was surrounded, a python was surrounded her body. I don't remember that. All I remember about Moona Lisa is she had a really cheap set, and they put like dry ice in this bowl of water, and it looked like smoke was coming out of it. And she would always end her shows by saying happy hallucinations, and I guess that was before LSD became very popular. But Oceanside's contribution to local TV was Jack White, who was a 1957 Oceanside High School grad, and he started as a TV reporter with Channel 10 after a period in radio. Anyway, he was a reporter on Channel 10 starting in the late 60s. He eventually became an anchor on Channel 10 and was there until he retired in 2010. And he died 10 years later at the age of 81. Jack White was also, I think, towards the end of his career, a restaurant reviewer, where he would, go to various restaurants and tell everybody what a wonderful place it was. Well, anyway, in his last 10 years before he passed on, he was brought on as a consultant for the movie The Anchorman. He told the producers what it was like to have a sort of an egomaniac. Jack was not an egomaniac, but he was followed, I think, on Channel 10 or worked alongside maybe in other stations, Harold Green. And he really was an egocentric anchorman. Jack White basically told the producers, this is what Harold Green was like, this is how he acted, and this is what the TV scene was like in the 60s and 70s. So that was Jack White, who was an Oceanside High School grad in 57 and went on to become a TV celebrity for a third of a century on Channel 10.
Delicious.